You ever notice how the second you stop chasing someone, they suddenly start showing signs of life? Like you could be texting her every day, nothing. Dry replies, no effort, just vibes. But the moment you go silent, suddenly she's watching your stories, replying to your old posts, and acting like she's been thinking about you this whole time. Funny, right? That's not coincidence. That's psychology. See, when you ignore a woman, and I don't mean ghosting her to play games, I mean genuinely detaching and focusing on yourself, something deep happens inside her brain. You're interrupting her emotional rhythm. And the human mind, it hates losing rhythm. When she's used to your attention, she builds a pattern around it. She expects that good morning text, that quick reply, that validation. It's comforting. But when that comfort suddenly disappears, her brain panics a little. It's like when you reach for your phone and realize it's not in your pocket. That microsecond of panic, that's what she feels emotionally. Because attention, my friend, is a form of energy. And when you pull it back, people feel the absence. Now, let's get this straight. Women are not evil or manipulative for reacting this way. They're emotional creatures. Just like men crave respect, women crave emotional security. So when you ignore her, calmly, not spitefully, she starts to question that security. And when a woman starts questioning, she starts feeling. At first, she'll act unbothered. She'll post something on her story, a quote, a selfie, maybe that random song lyric that just happens to sound like it's about you. But underneath, she's thinking. She's wondering why you're so calm, why you're not reacting, why you don't need her attention anymore. And that's when it hits her. The energy shifted. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Women feel safest with men who lead their emotions, not mirror them. When she pulls back and you chase, she subconsciously loses respect. But when she pulls back and you stay centered, no anger, no begging, no chasing, that's when she starts to feel something different. She feels your composure, and composure is rare. Most guys lose it. They get emotional, overthink, double text, start acting like they're fighting for their life in the chat box. But the man who can sit in silence, who can go days without breaking his frame, that man stands out. Because your silence communicates what your words can't. That you're grounded, that you don't chase validation, that you're at peace with yourself. And let me tell you something. Peace is magnetic, especially to women who live in emotional chaos. You ever notice how some women keep going back to the calm guy? The one who doesn't argue, doesn't beg, doesn't break? It's because in a world full of loud, needy energy, calmness feels like power. When you ignore her, you're not rejecting her. You're reminding her that you're not available for confusion, that your attention is sacred, that she doesn't get it by default. She earns it by reciprocating. And deep down, women respect that, even if they'll never admit it out loud. Because every woman wants to feel desired, but she also wants to desire back. And if she never has the space to miss you, she never gets to feel that desire. That's why silence works. It creates emotional distance. And distance creates curiosity. And curiosity creates attraction. Now, let's be real. The first few days, she'll act like she doesn't care. She'll tell herself, I'm over him. But then something small will remind her of you, a song, a phrase, a place you went together, and her emotions will sneak back up. Because women don't miss the man who texts them constantly. They miss the man who made them feel safe and seen, then suddenly disappeared. She'll replay moments in her head. She'll wonder if she said something wrong. She'll start to overanalyze your silence. And in that moment, you become a question mark in her mind. And people always chase what they don't fully understand. That's the psychology of it. Mystery triggers obsession. But here's the key. You can't fake it. You can't pretend to not care while secretly checking her profile every 10 minutes. That's not detachment. That's acting. And women can feel when your silence is emotional manipulation versus emotional mastery. True detachment means your focus has shifted inward. You're not ignoring her to win. You're ignoring her because your peace matters more than her attention. And that energy is what draws her back. Because women aren't attracted to indifference. They're attracted to self-respect. And when you stop chasing her, you start radiating that. You stop trying to prove your worth. You stop trying to earn love like it's a prize. You start realizing you are the prize. And ironically, that's when they start noticing you again. When you're too busy living to seek validation. When your silence feels like strength, not punishment. Now, I'm not saying every woman will come back when you ignore her. Some won't. But the ones who matter, the ones who truly had a connection, they'll feel it. Because real connection doesn't die with distance. it deepens with it. When she sees you thriving, focused, not bitter, it confuses her ego and awakens her emotion. She starts seeing you differently, not as the guy who needed her energy to survive, but as the man who's fine without her. And that's terrifying, because it makes her realize something most people never admit. The person who's least dependent has the most power. So what does she secretly feel when you ignore her? At first, surprise, because she didn't expect you to stop showing up. You were predictable, consistent, always there. And people don't value consistency until it vanishes. Then comes confusion. She starts replaying old moments, trying to figure out what changed. Did I say something wrong? Did he lose interest? Did he find someone else? She won't admit it, but she'll start checking your online status, your stories, your little movements. Not because she's obsessed, but because she's intrigued. That curiosity eats at her, especially when you're not feeding it. After that, curiosity turns into reflection. Now she's not just thinking about you, and she's thinking about herself. Why do I care? Why does this bother me? And that's when she realizes it's not about you ignoring her. It's about her losing influence over someone she thought she understood. See, every woman has a quiet ego, and when a man she thought she could predict suddenly becomes unreadable, that ego gets shaken. She starts to see you differently, not as the guy who always chases, but as the one who could walk away and never look back. And that's when respect starts to grow. Not the fake polite kind, the real kind. The kind that only comes when she realizes your time isn't cheap, your attention isn't guaranteed, and your peace isn't something you trade for temporary validation. Because when a man protects his peace, he sends a message: I'm not playing games. I'm protecting my energy. And trust me, that message hits deeper than any paragraph you could text. Once she sees that, she'll never see you the same way again. You become something she can't fully grasp, a mix of mystery and maturity. You stop being just another option. You become a reference point, the one she compares others to, and even silently. That's why ignoring her the right way is powerful. Not because it makes her chase you, but because it makes you remember who the hell you are. You were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to embody it, to walk like someone who knows his value, not someone trying to prove it, to move with peace, not panic, to hold your frame when the world tries to shake it. Because that's what real masculine energy is, not control, not arrogance, but calm strength. The ability to stay centered even when emotions pull at you. So the next time she pulls away, don't explode, don't chase, don't fold, just smile quietly. Let her wonder. Let her feel the space she created. Because silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. Use that space for yourself. Focus on your goals. Hit the gym. Level up. Read something that sharpens you. Build something that outlasts her attention span. Because while she's wondering why you changed, you'll be too busy becoming someone new. And here's the thing. When you do that long enough, you stop craving closure. You realize the best closure isn't a text or a call, it's evolution. It's waking up one day and realizing you don't feel the same anymore. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started caring about yourself more. That's growth. That's power. And one day, she'll scroll past your name, and it'll sting. Not because you ignored her, but because deep down she knows. You outgrew the version of her that ignored you first. That's poetic justice. That's full circle energy. Because you didn't win by playing games. You won by walking away with grace. So remember this. When you stop trying to be her everything, you finally become something real, something grounded, something rare, something she can't control, can't forget, and can't replace. And that is the power of silence. Not to punish, but to reclaim yourself.